Hello. So there are two concerns that I have been dealing with. Yeah, and both are related to immunity. In the course of me maintaining my own health and facilitating health clinically, um, started as BCST and then it evolved, became more finer as meristem intelligence therapy, uh, which is an organic way to grow humankind to humane kind. Yeah, humankind become humane kind by the how of the therapy, which is a sophisticated blend of several therapeutic modalities. And in facilitating this, I also need to take care of myself, like the health facilitator need to take care of their own health, so they are continuing to function optimally, so they can continue to facilitate health. So nobody else is doing my work, so I had to do my own work on myself. It's like doing surgery on yourself. But because my work is not instrument based, there is no instruments, medicines, or interventions. I was learning to practice the work. They say practice what you preach. So I facilitate health in people. So I began practicing it on myself to see, since I also have a human body and I facilitate health for people who have human bodies, I was thinking if I can try that on myself, then I'll know what is working, what's not working, and what's their experience in some way by how I'm treating myself. So if there is something that I don't like in how I'm treating myself, then chances are that others also don't like it. And in some way, so what you don't know kind of rules the world, rules the day. Well, so I was paying attention to what I know, what I don't know, and then en route, Nirbij Yoga formed, which is quite a sophisticated blend of so much several facets of living and being and doing and many kinds. So I'm facilitating healthier natural breathing, which is more like the more known facets in terms of we can appreciate life than the several unknown, as I've spoken in my previous videos. So You-we-itis, You-we-itis and chikungunya, or some symptoms of chikungunya, because I used to have joint aches at the time, and dots. If you notice this, there are dots. This is remnant of those times. Yeah, it was quite prominent. And I read through the symptoms, and by these two, I thought maybe I have some symptoms of chikungunya. Not confirmed, but symptoms quite speak about it. Also, since I was already dealing with uveitis, I kind of inferred that autoimmune conditions is a possible, because I have been having, when I began my facilitating my clinical work, I noticed that I had a problem with both males and females. So it's like U-V, yeah? U, Y-O-U, and V. So between me as a person and you, who could be male or female, or groups of people, who could be male, female, different genders, different ethnicities, cultures, V. So when there's, I was noticing there's one or the other problem with one or the other things. And probably that showed up as some form of uveitis. I had it in my right eye. So doing the right thing and those kinds of concerns. And I had to continue learning how to be a therapist. So there are different challenges, and it was like, I know at that point in time, I knew also that there was this concern of not only just me, but people also having several form of uveitis, yeah? One religion talking about another religion having a problem with their ideology, one nationality about another nationality, one gender about the other gender. So we have one or the other form of uveitis. And I, as a therapist, when I started my practice, my body was having the effect of it. Maybe because I'm very old, my genetic material may be quite old or something. So, with every person I would have therapy sessions, I would get the backlash. My native place is also Chalakudi, which is having backwaters. So probably I was having backwater effect. Yeah, from the kind of work I was doing and people I was facilitating therapy with. So over time, several kinds of blocks have been addressed slowly, so that I was not, um, instead of healing a problem, I was not causing a problem. Yeah. So, and for that, I had to heal my own relationship with the blocks that I found, the problems that I was encountering. So you just can't, push it under the carpet and then let's do the work. That doesn't happen, because what is skeletons in the cupboard? Yeah, they will show up at the moment when you don't expect, and then they cause problem in your work. So do the right thing involves dealing with the skeletons as and how they show up. So I was healing myself as well as healing people who showed up for sessions. And that's how the range of what I could facilitate and take care of and be mindful about, the range increased. Um, so much so that, in my therapy work, I've tended to just maintain my position at the feet. And you don't just simply get there. You've got to arrive at those different stages by which why something is better than the other. So it's a thinking process. It's an ideology. It's not idea. Well, it's more that too. But there is also the how, why, what. Several questions. We have 14 questions, by which by which I've arrived at finer aspects of what is medicine intelligence therapy. Yeah. So it's not just okay, now you can do it, so I also can do it. It is not. It's gradual refinement, um, purification of your substance, so that you become a humane being and you're not just a part of a system, but the system itself. And so no part is less important than the other. So it's holistic in the sense it's like really holistic, to the point of you being in between the known and the unknown too. And nothing is less important than the other, neither the known or the unknown. So it takes an n-dimensional, multidimensional training. So, and if anybody is interested, the beginning is healthy and natural breathing, and Nirbij yoga, and you being able to take care of yourself and also be able to take care of the self of many kinds of people, yourself, themselves, ourselves. And this is all part of the simple basics required to becoming a medicine intelligence therapy facilitator. Okay, and you should be able to be a hamster in the wheel, which is I have a Dharmapada for soul satisfaction. It is the wheel of Dharma. I think it's the I Ching, going by the looks of it, the way it's developing and taking in shapes and turns, and by how it is bringing about movements. It must be the I Ching, yeah. So, and you need to live your life by it. So that makes medicine intelligence therapy facilitator need to have qualities, trainings, which is not already available out there in the world by anybody else but me. Now, having said that, this is also a little bit of maize, but as in medicine intelligences, yeah, the language of medicine intelligence. But if any of this sounds all some language, well, this is maize. Okay, now I was talking about You-we-itis, about chikungunya. I think you can kind of, there's this reference of egg came first, chicken came first. Yeah. So I think if you relate it to chikungunya, it's more like, henpecked. So we have a lot of, we hear people, for example, Nikola Tesla, Mr. Nikola Tesla, he mentioned about if you want to study the universe, study in terms of frequency, energy, and vibration. And I think people kind of took it very seriously without really understanding the perspective from which we spoke of it. And now we have a lot of people saying it's all energy. Yeah? It's all energy, frequency, energy, vibration, you know? And I'm like, there is matter. Do you know there is matter? Yeah? So when we say it's all energy and disregard the fact that there is matter, and you only see in terms of energy, then it's a lopsided bum. Yeah? And if you think nature is matter and nurture is energy, and if you think, okay, energy people are all nurturing people, then we have a lopsided bum, because it's like a seesaw. It needs both for it to be nature and nurture. If it becomes too much of nurture, it's like, order and chaos. Too much of order is chaos, too much of chaos is order. Yeah? But it's like chaos is unknown order too. But if you're going to say that too much of chaos is order, and you don't really know what order is, then you have a problem. Yeah? Because then you're saying one is more better than the other, and then you don't know what order is. And I'm saying chaos is unknown order, and you have no idea what order is. Then again, you have a lopsided bum. Yeah? Basically, you don't know your R's from a hole in the ground. R's in the sense, why are you here? Yeah? And like purpose, and what gives you reason for being like R. So your reason for the existence of you as an enterprise, the reason for your existence, for example, R's. You don't know your R's from a hole in the ground, like hole in the sense hole, like WHOLE. Yeah? You don't know what is whole. And then you take apart, and then you say, this is it, I found it. Yeah? Empty vessels make much noise. That's what happens. So, and then I need to say this, because if I better be saying this, yeah? Because I've been doing a lot of not empty, not being an empty vessel, not making much noise without really knowing what I'm saying. I've been doing a lot of silence, stillness, nothing, to actually figure out which is which. And now it's like I better speak, because I have so much information that speaking is better than silence. Yeah? So I'm also continuing my practice, but it's like I better speak, because a lot of people don't know half of what I'm speaking, and there are a lot of empty vessels make much noise. What kind of noise? Ooh. For example, everything is energy. Yeah? And if you consider that the females are said to be all energy, and the males are like matter, if that's the way, like nature and nurture, if that's how it's seen, and we're all, energy and goddess, we have Mother Earth, and yeah, not many people are talking about Father Earth, or Mother Country, Mother India, for example. I'm from India. So every country talks about mother, but who's talking about father country? So how much of mother we are? So how much of energy we're talking about? That talks about how much we're talking about energy. Yeah? We also have Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. We don't have Beta Bachao, Beta Padhao. So that also talks about how much we are lopsided. Now, having said that, no wonder I got chikungunya, henpecked. Because people are doing Reiki, the problem is not with Reiki. The actual idea of what Reiki is really beautiful. But from not understanding which is which, it's like somebody's watching somebody, healing somebody. You take this medicine, a doctor says, you take this medicine, it's going to work. And then another person sees it, no idea what's the logic behind, take this medicine, this happens. And then that person goes and recommends somebody else. No qualification, nothing. So do you have a doctor? Yeah. Because I saw a doctor, the person saw a doctor do something. I'm like speaking from the person who does that. And because that person did it, I also can do it. So you also get healed. But you don't know the logic behind it. And so you're trouble on 2 feet, yeah. So that's the difference between not really knowing why it's done, how it's done, what are all the thinking behind it. That's when noise arises. Yeah, somebody others hurting from the person who gave the medicine not really knowing what that is. So this Reiki, some aspects of Reiki is like that. Similarly, yoga or any practice for that matter, without really knowing the matter. Yeah, you've had some basic education, and then you just go about doing stuff, and how that shows up, what kind of noises it makes. Yeah, so for example, distance healing. Yeah, Reiki has a practice. Some practitioners I know, there are good practitioners and there are bad, who are they really need to do their homework, get some further training. And so when there are a lot of people who, instead of going to school, they start applying their own learning, by themselves. No idea how they're doing it, but no idea how it's really done. But because you do it, I will fast track, quantum tune in and learn your stuff. Yeah, or I will quantum merge with your field and I will learn your stuff. Reality hackers, for example, for those who follow that thought line that you don't really have to go to school. All you have to do is just you can learn by watching others, or you'll like fast track people. Yeah, it's not like you don't know your artist from a hole in the ground. So in recent times, we have seen many people do that. I know that for sure because I've been talking about medicine intelligence and I've been talking about Nirbij yoga, and I have frequency listening people, soul sync, and many such practice. Listening to frequency people, different kinds of things, and I can hear these people, astral travel projections and all that stuff. I can hear these people. They are like, so how do you do this? So this is how you do this. I'm like, okay, here's another trouble. Yeah, and then you have to watch the news for what kind of creatives are coming up. So I'm not the only person who's at the receiving end of this. I'm speaking it and I'm facilitating and I'm saying, front doors are open, schedule a session, an appointment, and learn it the right way. If you are going to be eavesdropping or stealing, apparently like an artist, because a true artist, they're not stealing. There is credit and all those proper things are done. They're not stealing. Those who are stealing are not really artists. Yeah, if you're stealing like an artist, that's a misnomer. And so those who do it, whether it's white lies or black lies, it's lies. It's not the right thing. So this is proof of how much we have hen pecking, or rather energy pecking, more like, right? And the hen came first, chicken came first. Egg came first, chicken came first. Right now we're dealing with a little bit of chicken issues. And I am a Beti. So there's also this call out for Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. So in further attempts, I tried this in 2020. And then I went into further contemplation as to why do people, when I'm sitting in the online thing, why am I getting fried? And then I figured out our technology, our screens, is made by 0-1 technology. And our body, a human body, is made of 0 technology. Yeah? So there is it's not communication gap, it's more like inflammation. Yeah? 0-1 pelting, male-female pelting, apparently, so to speak. And our body is all Advaita and all of that stuff. And I'm practicing more Advaita. Yeah? And maintaining being human, which means more 0 technology. So in 2020, I didn't know this. So I was getting affected. So then I would go into break times. So I have been practicing, And then I discovered further details about mountain beach yogas. And I came to there needs to be healthy natural breathing, and there needs to also be supplementary courses, so the online courses that I'm developing to be able to reiterate and then remember finer aspects of it. So all right. Okay, I'm a little curious to what's going on here. And better to speak than to pause, because this is also what happens when you're practicing harmony, when you're being peaceful. If you can only be peaceful when you go into the Himalayas, you're not sitting in the Himalayas, and when you're sitting amongst the crowd, amongst people, you lose your peace. It's more like your peace is only in the Himalayas. So you have a problem. You don't really have it, or you don't really have what it takes. So my work, no Himalayas, yeah, only amongst the people, like in the city, amongst the different varieties, and to maintain my peace, and nobody dies. Yeah, because if you're losing your peace, and that does not work, because that's not how human beings form. Human beings evolving to humane beings, it's not only limited to being on the Himalayas. So it is very important. This is like Babaji. I read the story that he hailed from South India. He went to Northeast, and from Northeast, through many journeys, he went to Northeast, and then from there he went to the Himalayas, because he preferred sitting on the Himalayas than amidst the people, contemplating on what is missing, the presence which would make a difference. Yeah, because I think one or the other person has been taking the placeholder on the Himalayas. There has been said to be Shiva, who is also on the Himalayas, and I think one or the other person takes a place there, and doing the same thing. Yeah, social distancing. And then there came this Parvati, who found a way to heal the visha, the toxins. I think from maintaining why social distancing was maintained. So the visha, the toxins not spoken about, and instead kept inside, and then maintain social distancing. Yeah, so that needs to be regularly healed. And then further reincarnation, the duo had to be born amidst the people, not sitting on the Himalayas. Because if they continue to sit there, then what's the benefit of Parvati learning how to heal the toxins? Yeah. So sitting amidst the people, continue to detoxify the inflammation, the causes for inflammation, so that you continue to be a humane being while amidst the people. Otherwise, the first avatar, Sati, she was living with Shiva in the Himalayas. She came for a family wedding, family ceremony amidst the people, and she went up in flames. Yeah, because of the inflammation that happens, the pelting that happens amidst people. So she couldn't handle it. So she went up in flames in contemplating what is missing, the presence which will make a difference. Yeah, and then Parvati emerged. So Shiva was maintaining how to be alive all this while, because Parvati had to be born all this while, and then so many years until she sat in contemplation, figuring out, doing meditation while amidst the people, apparently. And then she gets married with Shiva. Again goes back and sits in the Himalayas. Yeah. So mission, it's more like war won, battle lost, because they are again back on the Himalayas. Yeah. So that's good. A lot of reference material, but not quite direct application. Yeah. So that's where my emergence, relevance is. I'm like the story of life restarting all over again. Yeah, through confidential, very what's it? Dash sources, through very authoritative sources. Yeah, I have come to know that I am live restarting the whole story of life. His story, her story. Okay, I'm more her story. It's more like I'm female, yeah. And I am just like any human being. I'm also complementary with nature nurture. So every person has nature nurture, and I'm complementary with my partner. It's male, like nature nurture. And so by her story, my story, I am also moving his story forward for the better, so that healthier sperm and ovum continue to form, so that humankind is becoming humane kind and not self-destructing, yeah, not destroying itself. So non-violence, very, very, very important. And how you maintain non-violence is by Parvati Yoga. You detoxify all the inflammatories so that you're not losing it, or losing it in such a way that others lose it, yeah. And that would also not do, because force begets force. What goes around comes around. So how to be humane and grow up the way a seed needs to become a tree without losing it, or having others lose it too, yeah. So they also become humane, and they're also growing up like a forest, without they going through comparative inflammations. Yeah, you're like this, I'm like this. It's like a jackfruit tree comparing with a mango tree, and then saying, I'm not like you. Of course the jackfruit tree is not like a mango tree. And that would be a problem if there is, because the jackfruitness of a jackfruit tree is lost. And so we need to learn how to not compare. So my You-we-itis and my chikungunya, as inflammatory immunity concerns, autoimmune concerns, but more immunity concerns, had to come to humanity concerns, so that we're not going on defense-offense mechanism, but instead I live, you live, we all live cooperatively, humanity across boundaries, because immunity is about defense-offense. You come, you do something, I'll pow you, yeah. And by powing you is how I maintain my boundaries, because that is normally known in every country. If you see, every country has a security force. You're maintaining the boundaries, but with guns, yeah. So that's like immunity. So immunity, outdated. That's more violence based, and that's more drama based. Humanity is more from the Winner Triad. Big physiological difference. So a humane being has a physiological difference from you can say human being, but it's more like a person with a human body. A person with a human body and a human being has different physiology. A person with a human body is probably eating also non-veg, drinking tea, coffee, alcohol, hallucinatories, yeah, non-veg. That which causes inflammation, and they are not doing something about de-inflaming their body, yeah. So they continue to have a body that's human, and they're slowly dying, and may or may not have diseases, but they have the thought that they don't have the idea that human beings are not supposed to die, yeah. They think one day they'll all die, this is the natural process. That's a person with a human body. A human being maintains a non-inflammatory lifestyle, a humanity-based lifestyle, not immunity-based. So what I'm doing through Mesmer Intelligence is facilitating the evolution of people with a human body to being human, which is a humane being, yeah. So there's a difference between just having a body that's human and being human, which means they are not like animals or plants, but something in between, they're not, something in between in the sense they are not just flora or fauna, but a combination of it, in the sense they are not, let's just say, they're taking care of flora and fauna, yeah, and are being mindful of gifts received, yeah. and from the gifts received, products made. You know, take from everything, make something better, and return to make something. Okay, take from everything, make something, and return to everything something better. Yeah. So, a humane being is appreciative of gifts received from animals and plants, flora, fauna. Make something better. For example, I have Nirbij Yoga, healthy and natural breathing, how to be a humane being, and then return to everything something better, so that everybody continue to prosper, or we have healthier sperm and ovum, we have humanity across boundaries, intangible world heritage is more how we live life, yeah, Sanatana Dharma, in the sense the timeless wisdom of living. Human beings are not supposed to die. So we kind of address creating a 5-part online course called Panchanga Veda. Well, the course name is called Prakriti. I mentioned it I'll leave the link for it, for where the course is available. It's on early bird investment. So those who participate will be able to appreciate life through these terms. And the sooner we are engaging in these discussions, in these dialogues, better it is for ourselves, our contemporaries, and future generations. Because we all get to learn how to be humane beings and not immunity-based power. Yeah, because that's not working. The Russia-Ukraine war is clearly an indication of that's not working. The kind of distress it's not working. And while this war is happening, there is a lot of distress, and then the collateral damage across many countries. You know, there's supporting countries. There are different kinds of collateral damage, because one is trying to support and one is trying to pacify the matter, and so much of energy, resources going into that which does not need to happen. This power doesn't work. Giving, taking, snatching, and it's not working. It hasn't been working historically. And you think, okay, new countries formed, none of that, but at the cost of what? So enough of wars. Time for humanity. Yeah. So if you'd like to be part of this movement, it's not like a like, because it's more like over many times through human evolution. If you've heard of the idea of the Noah's Ark, yeah, the idea of Manvantara, wherein a culture of human beings, where the culture did not work as well, and hence a new culture was started. But what I'm doing is, through Nirbij Yoga, I'm redefining what it means to be human, and so there is hope because of me, and how I'm maintaining, becoming a humane being and facilitating other people also becoming humane beings. So there is hope for humanity through me. So the quicker we learn healthy and natural breathing to begin with, Nirbij Yoga, and my way of living, meditative intelligence way of living, nobody has to die. Actually, we would all be getting premium healthy, wealthy wise. And I have written on my website that my way is a highway, because what I'm saying is also corroborated in several textbooks, sacred textbooks also. It's only that the textbooks have not been read as they need to be, because our sense and sensibilities have been kind of flummoxed by different kinds of toxins, inflammations, wounds from past based experiences, and hence we haven't been able to read the text the way they need to be. So it's like, when the window is kind of dirty, what you see through the window may not be seen the way it needs to be. So our eyes have been kind of clouded by past based experiences and contaminants and inflammations and toxins. And so we haven't been able to read the textbooks the way they need to be. And interpreting them has been even more difficult, because we have indulged in non-veg, tea, coffee, sugar, salt, those kinds of dietary habits. and our practice of yoga has been more movement based than than the movementless the way it needs to be. Parvati method of yoga, which detoxifies. That hasn't happened before. So what through Nirbij Yoga, I'm completely bringing in a whole new set of how to be humane, which is more consistent with the timeless way of living, timeless way of being human. So this is what has been actually referred to as Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana in the sense timeless. Dharma in the sense living life from a timeless way of living. Yeah? And so these are some of the thought lines, some of the words in Mais. So I hope this gives you pause for thought and sooner incite you to incite you to join the course and start learning this. Learning healthy and natural breathing, Prakriti, the Panchanga Veda, which is different aspects of learning how to be a humane being, medicine intelligent being. But these are more values, which is better said to facilitate health amongst communities. And so we've created an online course that is not having any of these words, but values more. So we are removing all of, so the more appreciation there is of these values and the benefit there is for individuals and communities, the sooner, better we become humaner beings, which is the need of the hour. Also in light of the war and different kinds of the pandemic, which has been bothering our health and economy since some time. So let's restore our Sikh economy to healthy economy. Thank you for your attention.